Unity for the whole journey. Endure when it gets stormy.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
You can never take it the performance. You can never take it the performance. So lost be the remedy. Lost be the remedy. Lost be the remedy.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
I really do. Come on, baby, me feel brand new and know that. Waiting for the army. Standing strong, but discovery. Unity for the whole journey.
My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they're liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in the
Shalom, can y'all hear me? Yep. Y'all are tuned in to In the Scripts
Reloaded.
All praise to the Most High. Who got on my left?
Officer Yakub.
Who I got on my right?
Officer Shema.
Far right.
Officer LSJ.
All praise to the Most High. So we got a short crew tonight, but we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And so we're going to jump straight into the show. We are dealing with Arab lies and the enemies of America. First of all, remember, when you read Psalms 83, the two top nations that are mentioned on God's hit list in Psalms 83 is Esau, Edom, Idumea, who y'all call white folks,
Right.
and Ishmael, modern-day Arabs. Those are the two nations on God's hit list in Psalms chapter 83. So we're going to deal with those two tonight. Now, I want to make sure that y'all understand something. As y'all are watching, whatever y'all watching on YouTube, when y'all are looking at, because pretty much every day, and my wife be talking about me, but we got to be watching for these things that are going on in the world. We got to watch for in these last days. Right. So as I'm watching State Department, the U.S. State Department, White House press, State Department press briefings, White House press briefings, the lies that America tells on a regular basis is amazing.
Right.
It is amazing.
Right.
And because their skirt is being uncovered in these last days, they know that they're not going to be able to keep up with these lies forever.
Right.
America the citizens of America, they know at this point that America's full of SH. Right. That they are genociding an entire race of people, right? And they are at the point now where they got to literally make stuff up during the press briefings. They getting the hard questions. They getting a lot of hard questions,
right? And
within those hard questions, they saying, "Yo, we got to just make some SH up." Just
right.
Okay. I know what the International Criminal Court said that they found. They want to bring up charges or whatever, and yeah, we found 5. Very harsh occurrences of violence, and I'm looking for a word. It's a word that they said.
I know the word you're talking about.
Basically, they were crimes against humanity,
right?
And there were 5 separate cases that they said they found from Amalek, the Israelis, that they've committed against the Palestinians.
Yeah,
but
not genocide.
What they're saying, no, they didn't use genocide. They basically said it was 5 harsh things that they've done against. I don't know why I can't think of the term right now because I just saw it earlier today, and yesterday. But nonetheless, what they said was, under normal circumstances, what the journalist was saying, well, under normal circumstances, if a country is found to have broken international law and they brought war crimes, which these 5 instances of war crimes that the Israelis have committed against the Palestinians, that charges are supposed to be brought, sanctions and things like that. Right. Okay, why haven't the Israelis come up against sanctions? Why are they still getting war packages? Why are they still getting military aid from America? It seems like there's some respect of persons. It seems like there's some unfairness in the justice system of America. Even though all the other nations said, yo, these are war crimes that are being committed from America, or from the Israelis, the IDF. So why are they not having charges brought against them? Why do you keep saying, oh, well, it's a process, it takes time, but there's a systematic process. So then when the journalists say, they ask the State Department, okay, well, what are the steps? Oh, well, it just depends. Well, you just said that there were very clear steps in the process of an investigating a country for war crimes. So what are the steps? Oh, well, there's really no steps. It just depends on the country and where there. So then there is no determined steps. There is no very clearly defined set of steps to investigate a country for war crimes. It's just it's open ended and it's up to interpretation. It's up to the interpretation of the investigating country, which America is saying, okay, well, Israel, they can investigate themselves. Let them investigate themselves. Whatever they come up with, they come up with. Whatever they don't come up with, they don't come up with.
The hell is this?
Crazy. But before I get on Amalek's head, I got to get on Ishmael's head right now. I want y'all to play that first video. I was watching this last week. I want to say last Monday. And this was the UN Security Council. UN came together, which is various countries. Let me go back to it. I want you to pull up Ishmael. Nope, not that one. Not Al Jazeera. I don't know what number it is. It might be number 1 and number 2. This is the UN ambassador for Palestine. The UN ambassador for Palestine. Yes. I don't know how to say his name. I'm gonna say Dr. Riyad Mansour or Mansour. I want y'all. So this was after the U.S. vetoed the agreement or peace agreement for Palestine to be a part of the United Nations. So they said, no, we are not going to allow you to be a part of the peace agreements. There will be no peace talks, nothing like that. So then this was a speech that the UN ambassador gave. So go ahead and play that.
It is not tied to a time or a time frame. Our right is eternal, permanent, and continuous. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be suspended. And it has no statute of limitations. It is important that this right not be subject to manipulation or domination or conditions, especially not by Israel, the occupying power, the ethnic cleansing power, the genocidal power, the colonial power that is determined to evict our people from their homeland, to eliminate their identity and to replace their history and their culture, and to uproot their present and their civilization, and to besiege their future and their horizons. The people of Palestine will not disappear. We will not disappear. The people of Palestine will not be buried. They are a historical fact. They are a history that cannot be erased, no matter the great power, no matter the tyranny.
Was that it? Oh, maybe I didn't do the right timestamp. Okay, go back. Did y'all play? Did he mention a part where he talked about the loss of identity?
Yes.
Okay, go back to that part. I missed it. My bad. Multitasking. Play it from. Yeah, maybe from there.
Continuous. It cannot be delayed. It cannot be suspended. And it has no statute of limitations. It is important that this right not be subject to manipulation or domination or conditions, especially not by Israel, the occupying power, the ethnic cleansing power, the genocidal power, the colonial power that is determined to evict our people from their homeland, to eliminate their identity, and to replace their history and their culture,
Okay,
and
there
to
we go.
uproot
There we
their
go.
present.
So it said they want to do what?
Eliminate their culture and history.
Eliminate their culture, their history, their identity.
Their identity.
Now, here's the thing. The 90s, 2000s, it's very well established that the Arabs know that they descend from Ishmael.
Yes.
That's common. That's common knowledge amongst Arabs. It is not common knowledge amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they're the Israelites according to the Bible. So now you have he's saying this on a world stage that his identity and they're being evicted from their land and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But that happened long before October 7th. Long before April, whatever month we in. What are we in? April 30th. Long before then, that happened to one nation of people, the children of Israel, where they were evicted from their lands.
Right.
Their identity was stolen from them. They were colonized and oppressed for generations.
Right.
We're not talking about October 7th to April 30th.
Right.
We're talking about generational curses. We're talking about generational colonization.
Right.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 12. Now, hold that. Before you get that, get that first, and then we'll go through it. Joshua 15. Officer Shema, you get Joshua 15. Daniel 9 and 12.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem.
It says the Lord brought upon his people a great evil. For under the whole heaven, meaning the planet earth, hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people first before it's a place. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place.
Right.
So when it says a great evil came upon Jerusalem, that's talking about the people that dwelled there. The children of Israel, the Israelites. Go to Joshua chapter 15. So now, when we talk about being evicted from your land, who did the land belong to first? Joshua chapter 15, verse 20.
The book of Joshua, chapter 15 and verse 20. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families.
LSJ, you get Job 20. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Luke 21. Come on.
And the uttermost cities of the tribe of the children of Judah.
No, verse 40. Read 20 again.
The book of Joshua, chapter 15 and verse 20. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Judah according to their families.
This is the inheritance of the tribe of Judah. So we're talking about Judah specifically, verse 45.
Verse
You're
45.
going to read 45 through 47.
Ekron, with her towns and her villages.
Ekron with her towns and villages.
From Ekron, even unto the sea, all the lay.
I believe, hold up.
Okay.
I believe broadcast is in the spirit, and I know they got a folder that has maps in it where they're going to pull up a map so that Israel knows where are we talking about.
Right.
Or Google Earth or something. I know broadcast is spiritual like that.
I got faith.
Come on, verse 46.
Verse 46. From Ekron, even unto the sea, all that lay near Ashdod, Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod with her towns and her villages. Gaza with
Come on.
with her towns and her villages unto the river of Egypt and the great sea and the border thereof.
That whole land, that area is the inheritance of who? Judah.
That's right.
It's the inheritance of Judah. It's the inheritance of Judah. One of the just one of the tribes of the children of Israel, the Israelites. So who was really evicted? Luke 21. Let's see biblically who was really evicted from their land. Just get me to the point, officer.
Luke chapter, you want 24?
Just get me to the point.
Luke chapter 21, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations.
And shall be led away captive into all nations. Come on.
And Jerusalem.
And where?
Jerusalem.
And Jerusalem.
Shall be trodden down of the Gentiles.
And Jerusalem would be trodden down of Gentiles, Palestinians, and Amalekites or Edomites, white folks. It would be trodden down of the Gentiles.
Right.
Christ prophesied about what we're seeing right now. Jerusalem has been trodden down.
Right.
So all these lands that we saw, Ekron, Ashdod, Ashkelon, all those areas down to Gaza, all those areas that belong to the children of Israel.
Right.
Thank you, broadcast.
Can y'all go so we can see how the river of Egypt, you know, it says the river of Egypt. Let's see. Yep, there it is.
There you blow it up. There you go. Israel's biblical border with Egypt, all right? River of Egypt, and it goes back to Genesis 15. Excuse me.
Right.
Woo. We read Luke.
Yes, sir.
We read Luke. Go from there. Now let's go to the book. So he said they were evicted from their land. Their identity would be taken from them. None of that is true. That's all BS.
Right. Right.
They are gaining sympathy amongst the whole planet Earth.
Right.
Meanwhile, the biblical Jews, the biblical Israelites, whom you had as slaves from as early as the 600s, and I'm talking about Ishmael, because Muhammad was fierce against us.
Right.
Muhammad hated our guts.
Right.
Meanwhile, he plagiarized our book, the Bible,
Right.
and came up with his own, and then started to bring all types of idolatry, and y'all start kissing rocks.
Right.
The hell wrong with y'all and worshiping stars
To this
the
day.
moon
Right.
Till this day.
till this day.
Right.
It's interesting though, because they at least double thieves, because they're claiming that land to be theirs when it was always the Israelites, but it wasn't the Ishmaelites that we had to go in and kick off of that land. The Philistines were Hamitic.
Right.
So they went in and so everybody stole our land, but they kicked some people out of our land that wasn't supposed to be there anyway.
Yep.
Because we kicked them out when we came in from Egypt, amongst the Canaanites, the Perizzites, all of them.
Hittites,
Right.
Jebusites, all of them.
So for them to say that it's their land, there was somebody there even before them. So they really lying. Like, they don't want to tell the whole story either.
And that's why, and you know what? We didn't even get that in Psalms 85, I think. Psalm 85. I think it's 85 and 11, or 83 and 11, one of the two. I think it's Psalm 85 and 11.
Oh, what does it say?
Keying off of what you just said.
Truth shall spring out.
Earth, yep.
The book of Psalm, chapter 85 and verse 11. Truth shall spring out of the earth.
It says, truth shall spring out of the earth. Truth would spring up out of from amongst the children of Israel that are teaching the truth of God according to the Bible.
That's right.
So we uncovering all these lies. We uncovering all the half truth. Guess what? A half truth is still a lie.
Yes.
It ain't half a truth. It's either true or false. It's either the truth or a lie.
Right.
Talking about half the truth. Well, it was just half the truth.
Right.
I mean, I told half the truth. No, you told a whole lie. What the hell wrong with you?
Right.
The scripture says, truth shall spring out of the earth. Come on.
And righteousness shall look down from heaven.
And righteousness will look down from heaven. Now, let's go to this book, Encyclopedia of Diasporas, Immigrant and Refugee Cultures Around the World. Go to inside the book. All right, so I want to read the definition of diaspora first. Somebody's highlighted.
I can't see it. Go ahead.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. Diaspora, a people dispersed by whatever cause to more than one location. The people dispersed to different lands may harbor thoughts of return, may not fully assimilate to their host countries, and may maintain relationships with other communities in the diaspora. So now I want you to think about something. When you think about Arabs, you don't think about Afro-Arabs.
Right.
You don't think about, give me something else,
You don't think about
American.
Afro-Palestinians.
You don't think about, even Afro-Palestinians. They
Right.
Palestinians, Arabs, Ishmaelites. That's it. But when you think about the Israelites, what are we? African Americans, Afro-Palestinians,
Right.
Afro-Turks,
Right.
Afro-Iranians, CDs.
Right.
Dag. You know what I didn't, Dalits, you know what I did not, you got the page where it talks about all the different, all the different bywords.
Yep. Let me pull
all the
it
different bywords. It says, let me go back to this. Go back. A people dispersed by whatever cause to more than one location. It says dispersed by whatever cause. The cause of us being dispersed throughout all the nations was sin. Deuteronomy 28:15. Then you're going to get 68. You get 64 first. So we can read about the dispersion. And then somebody else get Deuteronomy 4:27.
The book of
Real
Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Come on.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
That what?
that all these curses
That all these curses
shall come upon thee
shall come upon thee
and overtake thee.
and overtake thee. And overtake thee. 64.
Verse 64.
Come on.
The Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
Broadcast. Do we got dispersion images? We got diaspora images. Slave ships. Y'all help me out, AV. A broadcast. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I'm giving y'all the scriptures. Come on. What you just read?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 64.
Read it again.
And the Lord shall scatter
They
thee.
just, the broadcast just got it on me. I ain't even reading. I ain't doing nothing. Lord have mercy. Y'all supposed to have whole folders with this stuff.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64.
Come on.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
From one end of the earth even unto the other. From one end of the earth even unto the other, by way of cargo, slave, ship. One nation of people, one race of people had their identities stolen, were evicted out of their land, and they were called other names. That's the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Go to verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
Or bondage.
again with ships.
With ships. Come on.
By the way whereof
Oh,
I-
I'm sorry. Go back to 64. Go back to 64.
Verse 6.
Go back to the book. Go back to the book. I want to show y'all something. Go back to the book. I want y'all to see something. A people dispersed by whatever cause to more than one location, right? We know the sub-Saharan slave trade. They took us to many locations throughout the Arabia, Yemen, Qatar, all of that, right? Turkey, Cyprus. They brought us everywhere. That was just the sub-Saharan slave trade. Then when you talk about the transatlantic slave trade, we were taken to North America. We were taken to various islands and throughout the entire planet Earth, China, Japan, and everywhere else, right? Go back. Now read verse 64. Go back to the book.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee
Go back to the book.
among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other.
Show the book, please. Come on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
So notice how it says the people dispersed to different lands may harbor thoughts of return, may not fully assimilate to their host countries, and may maintain relationships with other communities in the diaspora. But that part where it says may not fully assimilate to their host countries, but they will assimilate. They may not fully assimilate. That's why we're still called Afro-Iraqis, Afro-Iranians, Sidis. That's why especially in India, that's why they push us to remote villages.
Right.
So we're not a part of the primary community, the primary nation. Right. We don't put the book back up. Just put me in a corner. We don't fully assimilate.
Right.
But we do assimilate to an extent. That's what you read in Psalms 106 in verse 35. Right. We were mingled amongst the heathen and did what? Learned their works.
Right.
So we don't fully assimilate, but we do assimilate to an extent. Read on.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone. So part of the assimilation was the religions, Christianity and Islam.
Right.
The two religions of the two nations that are at the top of God's hit list.
Right.
Read that. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you.
So the Lord said we would be scattered amongst the people. That's a diaspora.
That's right.
We would be when it says the people dispersed to different lands, that's Deuteronomy 4:27. That's Deuteronomy 28:64, verse 68.
Verse
that's
68.
what that is.
And
No. That's it. That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
All
All
praise.
right, for time's sake, because we started late, I gotta push on.
Did you want that? Did you want that file?
You got it?
Yeah, I had them up.
If they can pull it in
Bring
30
it
seconds,
out.
Lord have mercy. I just don't want to put no more on these guys.
Bring it out.
All right. Okay. Local terms in Asiatic societies for communities of African origin. Again, we don't fully assimilate.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they give us these proverbs and bywords like we read in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's scroll down. We're just going to get to the point. So Middle East. You see Middle East, Zanj or Zanj, term used until the late Middle Ages for the land and people of what is today termed the Swahili coast or Zanzibar of East Africa. That's where they get it from. Because a lot of our people were pulled from Zanzibar, from that area, East Africa.
Right.
Often taken, so they call it a Zanj. Often taken to the uninhabitable portion of sub-Saharan Africa. Scroll down. Sidi, African slave soldiers, 19th century. Sidis. Arabia, Takruni, equals Takruni, Africans. So we don't fully assimilate. They don't call us, if they took us and sold us as slaves in India. Right. They didn't call us Indians.
Right.
They called us what? Sidis.
Sidi, right.
Dalits.
Right.
They didn't call us, they don't call you Palestinians.
Right.
They call you Afro-Palestinians.
Afro-Palestinians.
They call you Zanj.
Right.
That's what they call you.
So they make up a byword.
Yes.
Yeah.
They fulfill prophecy is what they're doing.
Exactly.
They are fulfilling prophecy. For time's sake, like I said, I got to zoom through this because I got a lot to go through. Now go back to the book. Go back to the book. I pray broadcasters stand with me. I posted the notes like 2 days ago. Sunday, matter of fact. I posted these notes. Y'all ain't reviewing, but that's it is what it is. All right. Go to the next page. Go to the next page. I believe it might be page 15. Maybe 4 and 5.
Page 4 and 5.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
were right there in the same group of there's 4 of them. Yep, right there. Page 4.
All right. Okay. Read. You're gonna read. Below that. Below that. Yep. Markets. Middle East.
If you could, I can't see that. I'm sorry.
Middle East.
I got you. Middle East. Probably the earliest and certainly the greatest overall Asian market for African slaves was the Middle East, where a large and durable demand for African slaves had emerged.
Okay, neither one of y'all
had emerged by the 19th century.
Okay, hold up. Scroll down. Scroll down. All the way to the bottom. There we go. Probably the earliest and certainly the greatest overall Asian market, because the Middle East is really West Asia. Middle East is a British term. overall Asian market for African slaves was the Middle East. Now scroll up.
Scroll up and to the right. And go ahead and just make it bigger. Yeah. We don't. Yeah. And
They see you struggling, and they just.
Right. Where a large and durable demand for African slaves had emerged by the 19th century.
9th century.
By the 9th century. Overall, probably most slaves in the Middle East originated in Africa.
Where Christ said we would flee to in Luke 21. Go ahead.
Early sources included Nubia, Ethiopia, the Sudan, and Somalia. Under the Umayyad Caliphate, West African slaves were also imported. The conventional view.
So from East Africa to West Africa, slaves were brought to the Middle East. Come on.
The conventional view is that large numbers of East Africans were shipped to the Persian.
What? Whoa. What?
Were shipped.
Were shipped. Were shipped. Not walked. Not flew. No. Shipped. Come on.
Were shipped to the Persian Gulf by the 9th century and were responsible for a major slave revolt, although some scholars argue that the revolt embraced many free men, Persians as well as Bedouin and Marsh Arabs, and that most African slave rebels were from Northeast Africa.
So now watch this. Go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, because this book said African slaves were shipped.
The book of
Okay, I would like you to call in if there's a prophecy in the Quran about Ishmael being shipped anywhere. Right. Since their identity was stolen, since they were scattered, since they're being evicted from their lands, show me the prophecy in the Quran. Call in. Call in. Come on.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
God said that the Israelites would go into slavery with ships. With ships. With ships. Come on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
You should be what?
Sold unto your enemies.
You would be sold unto your enemies. Come on.
For bondmen.
For slave men.
And bondwomen.
And slave women.
And no man shall buy you.
And no one would save you or redeem you out of that captivity. Because ain't nobody going to the UN Security Council for the Israelites.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
We're not represented in there.
Right.
You got a black woman and a black man who America put in the seat to veto the ceasefire between the Israelis and Palestinians.
What the hell is this?
They put a black man up there to raise his hand to veto that.
Right. That's crazy.
Now, go to the next page for time's sake. Go to the next page. Now, what page was this?
Page 5.
No, up here. Go back.
Go all the way
Go
to
to
the
the page
top,
before, guys. What page is
That was
what
page 4.
That's page 4. Okay, go to the next one, page 5. For time's sake, scroll down to where it says prize Negroes. Scroll down to where it says prize Negroes. Yep.
Prize Negroes were landed at Surat and Bombay from the 1830s to 1875. Indeed, British authorities were possibly the first to identify and segregate these and other of African descent as a distinct ethnicity.
They were a distinct ethnicity. What made them distinct? Why would they deem them distinct?
Right.
Or peculiar? Different. Come on.
Most prize Negroes probably became domestic servants of local elites, although some served in the British military or police force. A proportion settled in and around Bombay, where in 1864, more than half the reported 2,000-strong African community were engaged in maritime labor as sailors, coal trimmers, firemen, or dock workers. So it's scroll down to Minnie McCroney. Stop. Yep. Many McCroney men, like other former slaves of African origin, also served aboard European steamers, chiefly as stokers and firemen. Such maritime workers were termed seedies by the British.
Another byword. So
right.
these African slaves, so-called African slaves, they had a unique identity.
Right.
And they were called various bywords. Now scroll down.
While they scrolling, Captain, it's interesting because remember, this was Zerubbabel. How many times do we see our people serving the elites? Remember, Nehemiah was the cupbearer. You know, this is the exact same thing all over again.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
Nothing new.
When they pulled Daniel, they wanted children that could easily learn their sciences and their languages. This is written.
Y'all go back and read Daniel 1, Daniel 2. Go back and read Ezra and Nehemiah. Go back through the history. That's why Paul said the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning.
That's right.
Southeast and Far East Asia.
Southeast and Far East Asia.
We're reading about the diaspora of the Israelites. Come on.
The ancient civilizations of Southeast Asia and China, like those of the Middle East and South Asia, probably obtained most of their slaves regionally, those imported from the West constituting a rare luxury.
A rare luxury. We were nothing more than cargo and cattle. That's all we was looked at as. From China to Southeast Asia to Britain and everywhere in between.
Right.
We fit the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28.
Right.
We had our nationality stolen from us, our identities stolen from us. That was us.
Right.
We were the ones called Africans. All them nations in Africa, which one are we?
Right.
Which one do we descend from? From there, go to, okay, I don't got time. All right, go to the video. So now, you can stop that. Ishmael, y'all can stop you're crying about having your identity stolen, being evicted from your land and all that, because biblically and historically, the children of Israel are the ones that have suffered the most cruel colonization on the face of the planet. That's only us, not you. You talking about a couple of years. We talking about centuries of colonization, oppression, loss of identity, and slavery that you read about in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68, and Leviticus 26.
Message.
So from there, now let's go into some current events, because remember, we talking about Arab lies and the enemies of America. Now we're going to deal with the enemies of America, because what America did when they vetoed in this Security Council that we're getting ready to watch, and they said, nah, we are not voting for no ceasefire. Even though they say out of one side of their neck, out of one side of their mouth, they say, we all about peace. We just want peace. Two-state solution.
Right.
They don't want no damn two-state solution.
Not at all.
Because if they did, they would have said, okay, we agree with all the other nations. We want a ceasefire, and let's talk this thing out. Let's bring some peace to the Middle East. But they don't want no damn peace in the Middle East.
They want chaos.
They want chaos. They want murder. They want genocide. They want the land to do something very specific that we're going to read in a minute. More biblical prophecy. Let's watch this. This is the Associated Press. This is the actual vote. Play that.
Will those in favor of the draft resolution please raise their hand?
The draft resolution was a ceasefire. So you notice how all the other nations, you have all these nations, some are permanent members of the Security Council, UN, and they said, yo, we agree to a ceasefire.
Right.
Play on. Now you had, this is America. This is America, the United Snakes of America, that voted against the draft resolution for a ceasefire.
That's crazy.
They vetoed it.
They vetoed it. And because they're a permanent member, their one vote was all it took. Their one vote was all it took. You mean to tell me one country had the power to overrule and override all these other nations?
Ain't no way, boy.
All these other nations that have nuclear weapons, by the way. All these other nations. This one vote. That should tell y'all something.
The hell is this?
Play on.
Abstentions? The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council.
This vote does not reflect opposition to Palestinian statehood. It remains the U.S. view that the most expeditious path towards statehood for the Palestinian people is through direct negotiations between Israel and the Palestinian Authority with the support of the United States and other partners. We believe this approach can tangibly advance Palestinian goals in a meaningful and enduring way.
America don't want no other nations involved with the conflict between the Palestinians and Israelis, Amalekites. They said, y'all don't have nothing to do with this. Us, big brother, our little brother Israel, and the Palestinians and the Arabs will deal with it.
Right.
We will deal with it. We don't need no draft resolution. We don't need none of that. That's why he said direct talks between America, Israel, and Palestinians. That's the way that we're gonna deal with this thing. So he is saying we don't want no peace. Go ahead. You have something?
Yes, sir. I wanted to read this real quick. This is the purpose of the United Nations. I'll just read it on my own for time's sake.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it?
Yep, I got that in my notes. Yes, sir.
All praise. Never mind.
I mean, go ahead and read yours. Go ahead.
It says the United Nations is an international organization founded in 1945 after the Second World War by 51 countries committed to maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress, better living standards, and human rights.
Yep.
So to your point, it's showing you the hypocrisy of America because the very foundation of this organization was saying it was supposed to promote international peace and security. So why would they vote directly against something that's supposedly designed for international peace and security?
Because they lying.
Pure hypocrisy.
Pure hypocrisy.
Here it is. Job 20. Job chapter 20, verse 5. The Lord got your card pulled. Oh, we didn't even get our foundational scripture, man. This is what we dealing with right now. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. This is what we're dealing with right now. As we are going through the enemies of America, we are casting down every lie pushed in Babylon the Great and throughout the four corners of the earth. We are casting down every imagination. This is war. The Lord, Christ said through Paul that through the prophecies we might war a good warfare.
This is war.
So what we're dealing with right now is literal war. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except
Christ's return will not come,
except there come a falling away first.
Except we go into slavery, we lose our identities, we're evicted out of our lands, and we are oppressed and colonized. Come on.
And that man of sin,
Esau, Edom, Idumea,
be revealed.
That's right. So what are we doing? Revealing the man of sin, the son of perdition. That's what we're doing. Go ahead.
The son
no,
of
that's it. Let's go back. Just for time's sake. Now, go to I don't know what number it is. Go to what is the Security Council? Did you add that one?
Mm-hmm. It should be the very next one.
Yep. Go to the next one, AV. What is the Security Council? Broadcast, whatever y'all want to be called. What is the Security Council? Y'all got it? Well, y'all got it. Play it. It's a triangle on its side. There we go. Okay, so what is the UN Security Council? It says working for peace. This is what Officer LSJ just read. Go ahead. I want y'all to keep in mind that date, 1945. Stop. China, France. So I want you to notice there's 4 Edomite nations, and then you got China, Moab. There's 4 Edomite nations, and then you got Moab in there that are permanent members. Get 2nd Ezra. I don't got this in my notes. I'm shooting from the hip. Give me a second. Get 2nd Ezra 15. Somebody say something real quick. I'll find it. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I want verse 46.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 46. And thou, Asia,
thou Asia, China, Japan. Primarily, we're talking about China right now. Come on.
That art partaker of the hope of Babylon. And art the glory of her person.
And are the glory of her person. China follows America like a little schoolgirl. Like they got a crush on the school jock.
Right.
That's how China follows America.
Right.
We want to be just like you. Come on.
Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself.
Destruction to China, you wretch.
Because thou hast made thyself like unto her.
Because you make yourself like unto America.
Right.
You don't see no other Asian countries as permanent members.
Right.
What the hell China doing in there?
Right.
Because they have made themselves just like America.
Message.
Just like her. Come on.
And has decked thy daughters in whoredom.
Her daughters is talking about her companies, her corporations, her businesses.
Right.
Go ahead.
That they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee.
They've always desired to be like America.
Right.
They follow the sins of America. So that's why you see China as the only other nation outside of Edom as permanent members amongst the UN Security Council.
Right.
Go ahead. They can veto any decision on substance.
Hey, Cap.
Yep.
Hey, read verse 48, because it's going to say exactly what you said. We didn't read 48. Read
Verse 48, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore, saith God, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death.
So they're going to get the same thing America got because they decided to follow her, Babylon.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. Go back. They work to resolve disputes. Go back. Go back a second. Oh, Lord. Just go back to the previous. The Security Council works to resolve disputes peacefully, but it can also authorize military action.
Wow.
So what do you think they're going to choose between peace and military
Right.
action? The friggin' military action.
Right.
Go ahead.
Peace out of chaos.
Yep. Come on.
Order out of chaos.
When peace is threatened, the Security Council can meet anytime, day and night, to agree on how best to respond for the sake of humanity's common future. So that's what you saw when you saw all those nations come together in the UN Security Council. That semicircle that you saw, that is what that's what we're reading right here. Go ahead. But before that, you saw America flex their muscle and veto the vote for that draft resolution, that draft peace resolution. Go ahead. All right. So the UN, United Nations, but they obviously not united because of what we're seeing right now. You can get away with genocide. You can get away with mass murder. You can get away with mass graves and dropping Palestinians in there like they trash. Go ahead.
You want that Job 20?
Yeah. Did we read it yet?
No, sir.
Okay, yeah. Now read that.
Job.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to play this first. Now read that.
Job chapter 20, verse 5.
So I want y'all to see when America says that they want to bring peace, the UN Security Council, they talking about they want to bring peace to the earth. That's a complete lie. Because of what they're doing to the Palestinians. Because of the vote that they just gave just a week ago, where they voted against peace. And now this is what the Lord said about them. Job 20:5.
Job chapter 20, verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short.
The wicked is talking about Esau, Edom, Idumea. When you read Malachi 1:4. Come on.
And the joy of the hypocrite.
And the joy of what?
And the joy of the hypocrite.
The joy of the hypocrite. Come on.
But for a moment.
So the triumphing of the wicked will be but for a moment. Right. God calls them hypocrites. All they do is lie. They say they put together an organization called the UN Security Council to bring peace to the earth. And then when they're put in a situation where they have to vote to bring peace to the earth, they vote against it. Because it's in their nature to lie.
That's right.
They are hypocrites by nature. That's just in them. So now, because of their hypocrite, now get Psalm 58. Psalm chapter 58. Psalm chapter 58. Start at verse 3.
Psalm chapter 58, verse 3.
So because of this vote, because they are hypocrites, let's see what else the Lord said about them. Go ahead.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
Speaking lies. Speaking lies. We're all about peace. The only way to peace in a two-state solution is through direct communication, direct contact, direct negotiations between America, Israel, and the Palestinians. That's the only way to do it. Right. We don't need no intervention from no other nations. Come on.
Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder.
They are like what?
The deaf adder.
They are like the deaf adder. So all these press briefings, all of these talks, all that stuff, White House press briefing, U.S. state press briefing, Pentecost press briefings, everything that they say is a lie. Everything they say is all a lie. Come on.
They are like
it says they're poison.
They're poison.
Their politics, their religion, their democracy, their republicanism, all of that is BS and lies. Come on.
It's like the poison of a serpent.
Uh-huh.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ears.
They are like deaf adders. They just told you in this UN Security Council meeting that they are deaf to the cries of the Palestinians. Right. They are deaf to the genocide being committed against the Palestinians. They are deaf to all the other nations that said we want a peace resolution between the Palestinians and the Israelis. You know what America said? B, you don't know I'm a snake?
Right.
And I don't even hear. I'm a deaf adder at that. I don't hear. What are you talking about peace? We don't want no peace. We want the land.
Right.
And that's it. Come on.
Which will not hearken in the voice of charmers. Charming
will not hearken to.
Which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. Charming never so wise.
That's all them politicians. All them politicians are charmers. Go from there. Go jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
So the righteous, the elect, we're going to rejoice at the vengeance that comes upon Israel and America.
That's right.
And we're going to read that in a minute. We're going to rejoice when we see the fall of the Amalekites and America.
That's right.
We're going to praise the Lord. Come on.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
He shall wash his feet. Christ is going to wash his feet in the blood of who?
Of the wicked.
In the blood of the wicked. Come on.
So that a man shall say, verily, there is a reward for the righteous.
We're going to say there's a reward for us, for the lies that are pushed here in America, for the lies that are pushed amongst the Israelis. Amalek. Come on.
Verily, he is a God that judgeth in the earth.
Verily, there's a God that judges in the earth.
All praise.
There's a God that judges in the earth.
That's right.
Now go from there. Now, go to this video. So now, because America vetoed that draft resolution, you're going to see how the Lord is playing chess and not checkers. Play this.
From Syria.
From Syria? You're from Syria too?
Yeah. All over.
Okay, okay. Where you going? Arkansas. You?
Chicago.
Chicago.
Columbus.
Texas. New Jersey. New York. Texas. New York. California. Chicago. You? Michigan. You? New York. You? New York. You? Indianapolis. You? New York. Thank you.
So they all know. So this is the southern border. Right. So Biden has completely opened up the borders for the last almost 4 years of his presidency.
Yep.
This is unheard of. What's his name? Trump was trying to build a wall. Biden said, "Nah, we ain't doing no wall. Just open it up.
Right.
Open up the floodgates."
Yep.
So who you think they opening up the floodgates to? They just told you.
Mm-hmm.
Ishmael.
Right.
Ishmael is coming in troops,
right,
in masses. And notice how organized they was to say, "Oh, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah.
I'm going to New York. I'm going to Indianapolis. I'm going to Chicago."
Yeah.
They knew off top where they was going.
Yep.
Because they got a job to do.
They got orders.
They got a part to play. They got orders.
Yep.
They got orders. The Lord orders the steps of all these people.
God.
All these nations. They got a part to play. They got a part to play in fulfilling prophecy.
This is war.
Go to Isaiah chapter 14. So now you got Ishmael invading America. Invading America. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. Why? Why is Ishmael invading America? Why are these borders wide open? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. What is America doing?
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Hold up. We got to go to a quick commercial break. Lord's will, life lasts. We're going to get to the scripture in a minute. We're going to come back. We're going to continue to deal with the wicked, the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
After these quick commercial breaks, y'all are tuned into In the Scripts.
93 to 1825. Many new Christians were among the stockholders after the loss of new.
Hold on. Let me read that one more time.
Many new Christians were among the stockholders.
Many new Christians were among the stockholders. Go ahead.
After the loss of New Holland in 1654, many Jews left Brazil and went to New Granada, the Antilles, and Lima.
Okay, so it says the Christians were stockholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Read on.
Jews were in almost every settlement stretching across the northern coast of South America, from Cartagena eastward to Guyana.
So this is Amalek. Go ahead.
They came with ships.
They, the Jews, Amalek, who you call Israelis or Jewish people, came with what?
Ships.
Came with ships doing what?
Carrying African blacks to be sold as slaves.
To be sold as slaves.
Right. Just read that.
Israelis sold black folks as slaves. Put them in what? Ships. Come on.
IUIC Boom Cards are fun, interactive digital activity quiz cards for children ages 2 through 10. Our Boom Cards offer an educational product that is the first of its kind. We have decks in English and Spanish, tailor-made for young Israelites to learn our history and commandments. You can use them in your homeschool classroom and after-school assignments, or even on the go. The intuitive, easy-to-maneuver digital learning features found on our Boom Cards are self-correcting, allowing children to learn without their parents' help. Anytime you have an internet connection, you can fill your child's idle time with profitable and true biblical teaching. You can access IUIC Boom Cards on any mobile device or computer at www.boomlearning.com/author/IUIC. You can also download the Boom Cards app on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, or even on your Kindle. Righteous digital activities and study tools for your children are now available through IUIC Boom.
Nation is community.
Where'd all these different faiths come from? Well, there are a lot of man-made religions out there. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit after the tradition of man. What man? The white man.
In Europe, in the time of the Renaissance, they start whitewashing all the dark images in Spain, in Portugal, in Russia, and all these places. And archaeology could show today, we got the records showing that there were black images all over Spain, all over Europe. Okay, why? Because the Christians over there at that time, they were all black.
Being a Christian, you are the following of Christ. You keeping the Passover, New Moon, Sabbath, all that make a big difference. In Christianity, they keep none of what the Bible says.
The Jews have always been black.
So the true early Christians maintained faith in Christ along with Jewish law.
It is very important for us to come out of what we don't belong in and come back to what God actually made.
We back. Y'all are tuned in the scripts.
Reloaded.
All right, we coming back. Why are the Ishmaelites, why are they coming through the borders in mass? And they organize. They know we going to Texas, we going to Chicago, we going to Indianapolis, we going to New York, and they coming for a mission.
Right.
They not coming to play with America. You think they came just to pick strawberries for y'all like y'all got Issachar doing? No. They came for another mission. They came for God's mission.
That's right.
Come on. Isaiah 14, come on. Oh, Lord.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Against who? The king of Babylon, a.k.a. America. Come on.
And say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
Ceased from what? Ceased from rulership over the planet Earth. Not just the Western hemisphere, but the Eastern hemisphere too. Come on.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
So the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Meaning what? Christ has broken the power of America. Come on.
And he that ruled the nations in anger.
He who smote
the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Let's go, broadcast. Y'all see where we at. Let's go.
He that ruled the nations in anger.
That means the images. Post the images, guys. Post the images. Read that again.
He who smote the people in wrath.
He who smote the people in wrath.
With a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger.
He that ruled the nations in anger by what? Dropping bombs all over Afghanistan, Syria,
right?
All these nations.
Yemen.
All these Ishmaelite nations. Thank you, Yemen. All these Ishmaelite nations. They were dropping bombs. I thought I had a video in the channel with what Palestine looked like. I thought I had a video of what Palestine looks like right now. Give me a second. I'll find it. Somebody say something. Say something, Shema.
Yeah. Cap is bringing it out. And listen, what we got to do now, pay attention. Watch the news. Pay attention to these news briefings. Democracy Now, CNN, Fox News, some of those, more likely, one of those news segments that's out the country, like Al Jazeera, things like that, you know what I mean? Because they're going to give it to you without all the filtering.
That's right.
Because, of course, we know Amalek owns all the broadcasting, the news. So we gotta pay attention to what we watching here.
Hey, real quick to piggyback off of Landback, excuse me.
Appreciate it, bro.
To Landback.
Appreciate it. Right?
I know I can say it, but for conscience sake of those to be out there.
Okay, gotcha.
To land back off my brother's point, to your point about the news stations outside the country, there was a guy that I worked with a couple years ago. He was from Canada.
Okay.
And he came over and he was working on getting his citizenship and all that green card, all that good stuff. And he said it. He was like, man, I'm surprised and baffled about how much more I know about American history than you people who were raised here. And he said, because he said even not just American history, but world news, world events. He like, in America, they keep y'all stupid. But growing up in Canada, we see all the news that's going on all over the world. We know what's going on in current times.
That's probably why they don't want us to have TikTok.
Right. Because TikTok is going to expose what's going on. That's
Right. So we'll be outside the box.
There you go.
Other than that, you're gonna have to travel.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, it's the same way with the Africans. They don't take I learned they don't take African history in Africa per se, you know, in that way. Now it's crazy because they, like in their early years in school, they go through the Bible, but it shows that they're being indoctrinated into Catholicism and Christianity. So they know the scriptures, but they don't know who they are, or they don't know any of that history because they don't teach it in that.
So they study in Dutch and British and things of that nature.
Right.
Read Isaiah 14:6 again.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth.
He that ruled the nations in anger persecuted all nations. Now let's look at the most recent. This is a bombing of Palestinian universities. Play that. Play it again.
Man, look at that smoke. Dropping heavy bombs.
Right.
Now jump to verse 16.
Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man?
Is this the man, Lucifer? Is this the man? Lucifer is not talking about no spiritual puff of smoke in the air. Lucifer is a man, the light bearer, aka America. Come on.
Is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
That made the earth to tremble. That made the Gaza tremble. Palestine tremble. Come on.
That did shake kingdoms.
How are they shaking kingdoms? Through war, through military might. Go back to the videos. Through military might, through military force, through military intervention.
That's right.
They don't want peace. They want military intervention.
They want problem always.
Play that one.
السلام هذه قبل اسبوع حددوا هذا القماع. شفت كيف؟
Now read that again. Read 17.
Verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof.
And did what?
Destroyed the cities thereof.
And destroyed the cities thereof. Play this one. And destroyed the cities there. It looked like I got two on the screen. I don't know how y'all did that. Go to the next one that you didn't play. That destroyed. Come on, man. Y'all hearing the scriptures and y'all just.
They had two on at one time. They can't.
Come on, play that. No, read this and then play it. Put it on the screen.
17.
That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. That opened not the house.
No, that destroyed the cities thereof. Play it.
Wasteland.
Exactly. Hospitals, universities, schools, daycare centers, daycare facilities.
Right.
That's what's being destroyed. So when it says to make the earth a wilderness, make the cities a wilderness, this is what you're seeing right here. This is what, go back to it. This is what you're saying. Mute it and play it again.
And that's a refugee camp too, right, Cap?
They have bombed refugee camps. I don't know if that's this. Yeah, that's this video. refugee camp, Split. I think that's this one.
Mm-hmm. Those are the tents and stuff, right?
Wow.
This is a wilderness. This is a wilderness. Yes, this video's, yes, the refugee camps. So you saw universities. What they've been talking about is hospitals being bombed.
Right.
You're talking about, now we're talking about refugee camps. Read that again in verse 17.
That made the world as a wilderness.
That made the world as a wilderness. Come on.
And destroyed the cities thereof.
And destroyed the cities thereof. They're destroying entire cities, genociding entire cities. Hey. So now, go to Jeremiah 51. So now, when you see Biden keeping the borders open for all these nations to come in. So, of course, you got Issachar coming in. Hey. You got the Northern Kingdom coming in, but guess what? You got Ishmael coming in too.
Right.
You got Ishmael coming in too. Hey. Jeremiah chapter 51, read verse 12.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 12.
The Lord's goings are of the Lord. Biden opening up them borders is of the Lord. Hey. Ishmael coming in, them Syrians coming in is of the Lord. We get ready to read it.
That's right.
Start at verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon.
Against America.
And against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind.
But military powers in the earth, come on.
And will send unto Babylon.
And I will send unto Babylon. I will send unto America.
Fanners.
Fanners. What are fanners? Terrorists. Fanners are terrorists.
Right.
So when you see them borders open, those are terrorists that are coming through them borders. Those are Allah Akbar, boom.
Boom. That's going to New York.
Are terrorists that are, thank you, that are going to New York, where else?
Texas.
Indianapolis, Texas, Chicago.
Michigan.
They telling you where they going.
Yep.
Read.
That shall fan her and shall empty.
That shall terrorize her. Come on.
And shall empty her land.
And shall empty her land. They not gonna bring no little bombs, no little cherry bombs.
Right.
No, they not bringing little cherry bombs in there. There's going to be serious destruction. It says, and shall empty her land. Go ahead.
For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about.
They are going to be against her round about. These terrorists, Ishmael, they are coming for America. They already not coming for.
Right.
More are coming, but they already here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They dormant right now until the Lord sends the angels and says, now it's time to activate.
Hey.
Activate this one in Texas.
Hey.
Activate this one in Chicago.
Hey.
Activate this one in New York.
Hey.
Activate this one in Indianapolis. Hey. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
Right.
Go back to Jeremiah. Go back to Jeremiah. Go to Nahum 3:13, matter of fact. We're gonna read that in a minute, yes, sir. But get Nahum 3:13 first.
The book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 13.
Read out.
Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women.
Meaning what? They scared as hell. They are scared. America is scared as hell right now. They like, Biden, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
You know you bringing terrorist activity here.
Right.
They know it. They like, yo, this dude is crazy. Come on.
The gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies.
That's your borders, your southern borders.
Yep.
They are wide open to your enemies. America's borders are wide open. The Bible prophesied it. Biden is playing his role.
That's right.
The American government is playing their part. They fulfilling Bible prophecy. Are they fulfilling the Quran prophecy?
Nope.
Hell no.
It ain't no prophecies in the Quran. How can they?
Say it again.
It ain't no prophecies in the Quran. How can they?
What are we reading? The Bible, nigga.
Come on.
The fire shall devour thy bars.
Boom. Them bombs that they bringing, them bombs that they gonna be making, Ishmael ain't no dummies.
Right.
They are not no dummies.
Right.
They are wild men.
Yep.
They know how to put some scraps together, pipe bombs and everything else.
And them jokers was clean cut and spoke very clear.
Yes.
So those are educated.
Yes.
Ishmaelites.
They gonna look normal.
Yeah.
They gonna be working they gonna be working in your schools.
Right.
They gonna be working in your colleges.
Right.
They gonna be working in your businesses.
Right.
They gonna be working in your corporations.
Right.
Y'all gonna hire these people.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, one day, it's gonna be mass chaos. Mass chaos all over America. Why? Because the gates were left wide open. Wide open. Because America is making enemies of all nations. Right now, we're just dealing with the first enemy, Ishmael.
Right.
Go back to Jeremiah 51, verse 14.
Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 14. Read it out. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men.
I will fill America with men. Come on. With refugees. Come on.
As with caterpillars.
As with caterpillars. Come on. Because caterpillars eat trees from the inside out. They will destroy a tree from the inside. Come on.
And they shall lift up a shout against thee.
Allah Akbar! Boom. That's the shout. That is the shout. Come on.
He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom, and hath stretched out the heaven by his understanding.
No, that's it. I'm sorry. Go from, jump back to verse 12. That's what I wanted to start.
Verse 12. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon.
Set up the Bible against America. Come on.
Make the watch strong.
Make the watch strong, meaning what? Study.
Right.
Watch.
Right.
We should be watching the news. We should be watching these press briefings.
Right.
Come on.
Set up the watchmen.
Set up the prophets. Come on.
Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that, which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon.
The Lord is setting things up. It's stirring the pot. Come on.
Oh, thou that dwellest upon many waters.
Stop. Thou that dwellest upon many waters. Now, broadcast. Y'all pay attention. All right. I don't know if it was posted in the channel. I'm not looking at it. I want y'all to pull up that video that I posted where it talked about the islands. It says, let me go down. How the U.S. stole this paradise island.
Yep.
All right. Is that in there?
No.
All right. It's the last one, AV. Just click the YouTube link. Just click the YouTube link. How the U.S. stole this paradise. Matter of fact, no. Before you get that one, I want you to go to this one first. The last one I just dropped. Why 90% of foreign military bases are American. Read this again.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness.
So it says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters. Let's see who this is talking about. Do y'all have the video up, broadcast? I don't see it. It's the very last link. Let's read the scripture again till they get it.
O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come.
Thine end, it says, thou that dwellest upon many waters. Play this.
Bases overseas, across 80 countries and colonies.
Go to
that means
y'all,
that
y'all, I don't think y'all started at the beginning. Go all the way to, it sounds like he started in the middle of a word.
Right.
Play it.
the United States military has about 750 bases overseas, across 80 countries and colonies. That means that about 4 out of every 10 countries have U.S. bases on them, across every continent except Antarctica.
So,
but have
America has bases across the entire planet. Right. They have bases across the entire planet. Right. Play.
That many military bases abroad is normal, right?
This is more foreign military bases than any country or people or empire in world history.
Stop.
In fact,
they have more military bases and more of a military presence across the earth than any other nation in history. In history. Play it. No, I'm sorry, for time's sake, jump to, so it has kind of timestamps in there. Click that intro. Click where it says intro. Click it. I know it's clickable. Okay. No, but you should be able to click it and it pulls up the chapters. There's chapters to it. Lord have mercy. I gotta tell them how to use YouTube. Go out the thing. Okay, whatever. Yeah, just go to the next chapter. Go to the No. Yeah, keep going. There you go. Right before that. No. Go the next, yeah. Right before, yeah, now right before that, a couple of seconds before that. There you go. There you go.
States has, without talking about what those bases actually represent. U.S. imperialism.
Stop. U.S. imperialism. All those bases represent ultimate power across the planet Earth. I have power over all nations. That's what America is saying. When they put a base on your land in your country, they saying I rule over you.
Right.
I have a military presence over you. America's the big bullies of the entire planet Earth.
That's it.
Play it.
While it's true that U.S. military bases expanded dramatically after World War II, the U.S. actually started exerting its power and influence outside its borders in the early 1800s.
Okay.
In 1820,
jump to right at 4 minutes and 40 seconds.
have the same rights as mainland U.S. citizens, like Guam, Puerto Rico, and American Samoa.
We can think of these bases as kinds of colonies. These are sort of mini micro colonies from which the U.S. government and to a certain extent U.S. corporations can exert power in the world.
You see that? They exert power in the world by setting up military bases in your country, on your land, on your island. Now go to the next video I posted. The second to last video I posted, broadcast. It's the second to last video. Remember the scripture, read the scripture again.
Oh, thou that dwellest upon many waters.
Thou that dwellest upon many waters. Now let's see what they did to our people that's close to Madagascar. The Solomon Islands. Play that.
It is May 26, 1973. A cargo ship left the Chagos archipelago headed for the coast of Mauritius. It carried one of the last remaining groups of Chagosians, the indigenous population of the Chagos Islands. Chagosians describe life on the islands as paradise, living like one big family. They had thriving villages, an abundance of fresh local produce, schools, and an undisturbed way of life. But now, they were being forcibly removed from their homes, not allowed to bring much with them, packed like animals on the bottom of a cargo ship.
In 1973, they were put on ships, slave ships. Come on.
Them, packed like animals on the bottom of a cargo ship. The story of what happened to the Chagosians still isn't widely known. Why were they being displaced, being treated so inhumanely? It begins with the U.S. setting its eyes on their land for a military base, and the U.S. conspiring with the U.K. to do whatever it took to get that land.
They did whatever they could to get the land. They lied, they conspired. They forcibly put the Chagosians on cargo ships in 1973. Y'all thought Deuteronomy 28 just stopped at the transatlantic slave trade. No. 1973.
Hey, Cap, nobody can possibly match our atrocities.
No.
It's impossible.
No. Show me Ishmael being put on a cargo ship, a cargo slave ship, and shipped to other parts of the world. It didn't happen.
Not never.
It did not happen. That's why we read Daniel 9 and 12 earlier.
Right.
It did not happen. That's the children of Israel in mass as a nation of people. Because somebody going to bring up some random history from one moment in time and say, oh, look, these 10 Ishmaelites were put on a ship and shipped over to America. Okay. What about as a nation of people?
Right.
What about as a nation? We're not talking about, the Bible is not talking about 10 people or 15 people. You had some?
Yes, sir. To your point, another thing the scripture says is the curse shall be upon thy seed forever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what it means is that captivity going on slave ships will happen over and over and over and over until Christ's return.
Yes.
So you can, to your point, Cap, about you can try to pinpoint one little minute period of time where some group of people may have had some form of oppression put on them. But when you examine world history from the way back in biblical times, dating all the way back to ancient Egypt, up until now, we've always been in captivity after captivity after captivity. That's how you know the Bible's talking about us as a people.
Yes.
That's right. Right.
Yes. So now when it says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, not only is it talking about islands and things like that, but all the Indian Ocean, the Atlantic, Red Sea, all these different waters where you have countries there, there's a military base. So thou that dwellest upon many waters, from the Atlantic to the Indian Ocean to the Red Sea and everything in between, north, south, east, and west, that's where you got a military base. I appreciate y'all. Y'all late, but all right. Go back. Now from there. Because I'm not even halfway through, and I only got a few minutes left. All right, go to Isaiah 19. America and Israel is making enemies of who was once allies. All these nations, they were once allies. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1 and 2.
Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt.
The idols of Egypt, this Egypt is talking about America,
shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt,
the heart of America,
shall melt in the midst of it.
That is fire. That is nuclear fire. Woo. America will be destroyed by nuclear fire. Come on.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
And I will set NATO, the UN Security Council, against the Egyptians, against America. So all these other Edomite nations that were permanent members, they gonna come against America.
Right.
It was France, it was the UK, and Russia. I got a 4 and I said 3. France, the UK, and Russia, which were permanent members of the UN Security Council, they will come against America.
Right.
Come on.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother.
That means nation against nation, Edomite nation against Edomite nation. Edomite kingdom against Edomite kingdom. Come on.
And every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
City against city and kingdom against kingdom. Power, military against military. That's what you're seeing right now.
Right.
You seeing brother against brother, Ukraine and Russia. That's brother against brother.
Right.
That's neighbor against neighbor. Nothing more than that. Go from there. A brief history of U.S. support for Israel. Where is this unwavering support for Israel coming from? Because that's why America's making enemies. This unwavering support for a nation that is genociding another nation, that has stolen land inch by inch, mile by mile, city by city, province by province. Play that.
Are rooted in the biblical heritage.
But we have a bond to Israel that's much stronger. It's a moral commitment.
It was created to fulfill the long-standing dream of the Jewish people to return to the home of their biblical origins.
Come, let us declare in Zion the word of God. The founders of my country saw a new promised land.
America's commitment to Israel's security is rock solid and unwavering.
Jerusalem will be the capital of Israel, and I have said that before, and I will say it again.
I recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel.
You need not be a Jew to be a Zionist. I am a Zionist.
America's relationship with Israel is as old as the foundation of the state in 1948.
Stop. So now, they are saying that they're fulfilling biblical prophecy by making Israel a state and then making Jerusalem the capital.
The hell is this?
Daniel chapter 11, verse 14. So what are they doing biblically? What are they doing biblically? Daniel chapter 11, verse 14.
They have no idea.
The book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 14. And in those times there shall many stand up.
Read it from the top.
Daniel 11, 14. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south.
Egypt.
Also, the robbers
the robbers of what?
Of thy people.
When it says the robbers of thy people, the robbers of the land of Israel, the robbers of the culture, history, heritage of the true people of God, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These Israelis, Amalekites, God said that they are robbers.
That's right.
They have robbed you of your name as being the Jews.
Right.
The praise of God, the prince of the power. They've robbed you of your name. They've robbed you of your history, your heritage, your culture. They've robbed you. Read.
Also, the robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves.
So they shall exalt themselves. Come on.
To establish the vision.
So that's what they're doing. When they moved into the land, they made Jerusalem the capital of Israel. It says that they establish the vision. They're exalting themselves and establishing the vision. What vision? That they are the chosen people, that they're the people of God. They're the chosen ones. They're the anointed ones. Mm-hmm. They're exalting themselves above all the other nations. We're the people of God. We're the Jews. Come on.
But they shall fall.
But God said that they gonna fall.
Right.
Why? Because Ishmael gonna get the upper hand.
Right.
Oh, they gonna get the upper hand.
That's right.
All these Arab nations, they all gonna come together. Ishmael and Elam, the Iranians, and they are going to get the upper hand over these robbers, over these thieves, over the hypocrites. Go ahead. Was that it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but they shall fall. Now, go from there. Zechariah chapter 2. Zechariah chapter 12. Yes,
No, sir. No, sir.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3. Real quick. So what they did and what you saw is why America's support for Israel is so ironclad, it's so unwavering, is because they're trying to establish the vision that those are the people of God, according to Daniel 11 and 14. God said they're going to fall. Why? Because truth is going to spring out of the earth.
That's right.
And we're going to flood social media. We're going to flood the airwaves.
Right.
We're going to flood your TV.
Right.
We're going to flood your phone, your iPad, and everything else. I don't know about Android. We're going to flood all your devices. And we are going to bring out the truth of God that we're the Israelites.
Yes.
We are God's chosen people. I apologize, you Androidians. I apologize. Y'all will get it at some point.
Ain't no way, boy.
So now what is America doing? Again, America has made enemies of all nations. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3.
Zechariah chapter 12, verse 3. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone.
America, Jerusalem, the land, is a burdensome stone. Go ahead.
For all people. All that burden.
For all people. Right now we're talking about the Palestinians and Israelis. Come on.
All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it.
So it says, all that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces. America is burdening themselves with the land. So they're going to be cut in pieces. How are they burdening themselves? By making ironclad relationships, by giving all this military aid, by giving all these weapons. What's up with the mic? I mean, it's feedback or something. I don't know. But by giving all this military aid and all of that to robbers, to thieves, to liars. That's what they're doing. Go from there. Wish I could get a bomb from broadcast, but I think I got them shook for whatever reason. America has burdened herself with the land, so they're going to get it. Thus saith the Lord.
They're going to get it. Thus saith
America
the Lord.
and Amalek, they going to get it. America's going to get it. That's what we read in Jeremiah 51. Why? Because they've burdened themselves with Jerusalem. They coming in saying, we going to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. We going to come in and say that the Amalekites or Israelis, they're the real Jews. We're going to make them a state. We're going to continue to push the Palestinians out through bloodshed, through violence, through genocide. That's what they're doing. And that's what they've been doing.
That's right.
All the way from to early 1900s.
Right.
1948, they made them a state. And then thereafter, what were they doing? They were continuing to drop bombs, and they called it the Great Nakba, the Great Calamity. Go from there. Say something.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Oz.
Read Zechariah 12:13 again real quick.
Zechariah chapter 12. You said 12 and 13?
I'm sorry, 12 and 3. I apologize.
The book of Zechariah chapter 12 and verse 3. Bring it out! And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut in pieces.
Now remember, it said, I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people. But remember, the precept in Joel says, Most High said, I'm going to gather the nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat. So what does that mean? Whether Esau likes it or not, it's already set. The Lord has already prophesied that he's going to make you gather in the valley of Jehoshaphat. He's going to make you burden yourself with Jerusalem just so he can set you up for the grand finale destruction. The same way he did Egypt with the plagues. The same plagues is coming on America, Babylon the Great.
And they don't even know it.
Yes,
they don't even know it. That's why them borders stand open right now.
That's right. That's right.
And Governor Greg Abbott, he can't stop it. It's of the Lord.
Yeah, he's trying to pass all these laws, and they trying to sue the government and all that. Man, please. You can't stop prophecy.
Yeah,
that's right.
You cannot stop prophecy. It's going to happen. Nahum 3, Jeremiah 51. It's going to happen.
Yep.
You just got to play your part. It is what it is. You got to play your part.
It's funny to watch when he say he cutting back on the number of teachers. Remember that story?
Yep.
Hey, old Joe, boy. Hey, not Joe.
Greg Abbott.
Yeah, old Greg Abbott.
Einstein.
Yeah, Ironside. Bro.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ironside.
Hey, crazy, bro.
I'm not going to get through none of this in 4 minutes. So I'm going to just fill it in a little bit. We're going to paint the picture a little bit. Go to Habakkuk 2. So America has made enemies of all nations. Lord's will next week, Lord's will life last, we'll go into President Truman, because during his presidency, there was a lot of prophecy that came to pass. A lot of major events happened under his presidency. A lot of major events happened under his presidency. But I do not have time to go in it tonight. Habakkuk chapter 2. Get Micah 2 and 2. This goes with what we read in Isaiah 14, what we read in Jeremiah 51. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 7. Micah 2 and 2 first. Then we'll get Habakkuk.
Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
So they oppress a man and his house, a man and his heritage. What you just read?
Micah 2:2.
Oh, I thought I said Habakkuk first. All right, read it again.
Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress.
Hey, AV, do me a favor. As we're reading the scriptures, y'all should be playing what we're reading.
Bring it out.
Y'all should be showing what we're reading. We got to make the Bible real.
That's right.
People still think the Bible's a fairy tale book. Yeah, y'all got all these videos up. Yeah, start playing this stuff. The videos, not them pictures. Read it.
And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house.
They oppress a man and his house.
Go
Come
back
on.
to the videos. Yeah, the distress.
Even a man and his heritage.
Even a man and his heritage. So this is the oppression. This is shaking kingdoms. This is taking land by violence. So America's trying to play in the back and put their hands up and say, what you talking about? We ain't bomb nobody.
Right. We ain't do it.
We ain't do it.
Right.
That's the Israelis. Where the hell they getting their weaponry from?
Right.
That Iron Dome, where the hell they get that from?
Right.
They not making that kind of money.
Right.
So where are they getting it from? You are the support system behind Amalek, behind the robbers.
Right.
You are the ones that are oppressing a man in his house, a man in his heritage, and taking the land by violence. Nakba. Nakba. Go to Habakkuk.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6.
Verse 7. There's a lot of good stuff in there. How much time I got? I got a minute. Nah, because there's certain things I got to explain. Start at verse 6. Start at verse 6.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him?
Nah, you got to start at verse 5.
Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine.
The he is talking about America. They transgress by wine, philosophies, doctrines, politics. Come on.
He is a proud man.
They are proud. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. They got it in their songs that they proud men.
Right.
Come on.
Neither keepeth at home.
Don't ask me how I remember that. Go ahead.
Neither keepeth at home. Who enlargeth his desire as hell.
There you go. They enlarge their desire as hell. That goes back to Revelation 6 when it says death and hell.
Right.
Come on.
And is as death and cannot be satisfied. But gather unto him all nations.
All nations are here in America.
And heapeth unto him all people.
So this is nothing more than ancient Babylon or Neo-Babylon, because in ancient Babylon, all nations were there too. At the Tower of Babel. That's why the Lord separated the languages.
That's right.
Come on.
Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
That's how you know we're talking about Babylon the Great. Come on.
And a taunting proverb against him. And say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
They increase that which is not theirs, which is lands. Come on.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
With thick clay, with all nations. All nations are here. So guess what? With all nations being here, including Ishmael, what you think gonna happen? Read.
Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee?
These sleeper cells that are here right now, these terrorists that are here right now, they gonna bite you. Meaning what? There will be destruction here. There will be bombs going off here. There will be Allah Akbar here in America. Babylon the Great. Come on.
And awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them.
They shall be for spoils for them. America will be spoiled by Ishmael. There will be military activity out here. But it ain't gonna be the nations coming in with tanks and all of that. No. They coming in through the borders.
That's right.
They coming in through them open borders. Ain't nobody searching them at the border.
Right.
So what you think they coming in with? What kind of capabilities do you think that they got?
Remember that one guy that said, you ought to be ashamed not to know who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
You will know who I am soon.
You will. They gonna know soon.
Yeah.
Soon. Why? Because the Lord is turning things up. The Lord is a prophecy is being fulfilled as we speak, as we move and live in 2024. You got to wake up in these last days and understand prophecy is being fulfilled. What side of the prophecy are you going to be on?
That's right.
The kingdom of heaven, righteousness, rulership over the planet Earth and these other nations, or the lake of fire.
Right.
The prophecy is either way. Which side of the prophecy you gonna be on? All right. They playing these videos for us. Did they show any of these on the thing? I guess not. All right. It is whatever. Go to the thing. So Lord's will, life lasts. Next week we'll be back, and I'm gonna go through the rest of the history dealing with America making enemies of all nations, primarily their neighbor, their brother. All right, we're gonna deal with the neighbor and the brother next week. Lord's will, life lasts. We're seeking your assistance to enhance our national broadcast. Kindly share a minute to provide feedback by answering 5 brief questions. Y'all can visit us at israelunite.org. They didn't show this on the screen, but it is what it is. Lord's will, life lasts. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all are tuned in to In the Scripts.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.